Thanks for joining me today, my friends. My name is Rainy Cat, and today I'm going to show you how to build in the steampunk style in Minecraft. Steampunk is some of the most fun builds to look at, but it can be challenging to even know where to start or what steampunk is. This isn't going to be a tutorial about how to build this specific steampunk tower. Instead, I'm going to give you 7 steps that will help you start making your own steampunk builds. So let's get started. We're going to start with a normal build, and step by step, we're going to change it into a steampunk build. And the first step is to use less wood and more metal. Wood looks more old-fashioned and in the fantasy style, whereas metal gives the more technological, industrial feel of steampunk. I've switched out the copper and iron for the spruce, and already you can see it's looking more like a steampunk build. And I haven't just used metals in Minecraft. You can also use blocks in Minecraft that look like metal, like this polished tuff and polished andesite, even though they're not metal in Minecraft, look like metal. And the next step is use cogs. Cogs are the bread and butter of steampunk. If you've seen a steampunk base, you've probably seen a lot of cogs because the more cogs, the better. The third part of steampunk is to add other parts. You rarely see a steampunk build that's just one color or one shape. As you can see, I've added a lot of builds to the sides and I haven't made them the same material. I've made sure to actually not make them tidy. I've made them at different heights to give it kind of a messy, mashed together look. Steampunk isn't supposed to be neat or well lined up. It's supposed to be random in some places, all over the place, almost as if someone didn't know what material or what order in which to build. And already you can see, yeah, this is a steampunk build. The next step is even easier, which is to use pipes, tubes, chimneys, like this chimney up here, or this tube down here, or this pipe over here. The good thing about these are that they're very simple to make, but they add so much to a steampunk build. And the next step is just as easy, which is add antennas. Cables, then wires. You don't necessarily have to put them on just the roof. You can put them on the top of other surfaces or the sides. And just like pipes and just like cogs, the more you add, the better. You could probably cover this build in these and it would look great. And the next step is to use technological lighting. Avoid old-fashioned lighting like torches and lanterns. On this tower, I've used redstone lamps, and I actually have this build in my survival world. And when lightning strikes it, these redstone lamps light up. They don't have to be functional, but you want them to look more modern and industrial when it comes to a steampunk build. And the last step, which is optional, but which I consider the most important, is making the steampunk build feel aged. All these other steampunk builds are kind of shiny and new, but that's not what steampunk is. Steampunk is worn and battered, tested. I've changed a lot of the copper gradients to give it that aged feeling. And I've changed these white blocks to different blocks to give it a weather battered feeling. And that's how to start your steampunk builds. As you can see, any of these builds are steampunk to a degree, And as you go along, they're a little less steampunk. And you can do that with a build you make. You can just add just one cog and one antenna to a build, and it will be steampunk enough. And the good thing about steampunk is it goes well with a lot of other styles. Like there can be fantasy steampunk, sci-fi steampunk, modern steampunk. So I hope this guide helped you. If you want any more tutorials like this, feel free to say so. But for now, you have a good day, and I hope you have fun.